today? Let me tilt the camera a little slightly bit. So I'm coming on with you today with a bit of project share. On the group we had to, instead of our 3 themes, which is normally what we choose from, I decided, as it was coming up to Easter, it would be lovely if we had an Easter basket in the post full of handmade goodies. Some could be shop bought, but not too many. And they were kind of things that you had to put in your basket. So let me find, obviously the Easter basket, the colour and style was completely up to you. As long as when you saw it, when you saw the Easter basket, it reminded you of Easter. That was the only condition. The other condition that you had to do, you can make your basket out of fabric or paper, any dimension, as like I say, as long as you keep the basket shape. The colour sets and the style was up to you, as long as you could tell it was Easter. In your loaded basket, you must include 2 small eggs or 2 small chicks, a range of handmade flowers, and an Easter surprise bag. Now, the Easter surprise bag was not to be any bigger than 6 by 6, could be smaller but no bigger. And this surprise bag had craft items in, and it just depended on what you put in your surprise bag. And that was it. And I did choose twist, but I didn't tell my admin I chose twist because I completely forgot it, because it's them guys that pick the twist for me. I don't pick my own twist, as I think that's a bit unfair. So I didn't actually do a chip twist this time, which I think was quite nice in a way, because it means I could be, I don't know, I lost a little bit of inspiration halfway through this project. I don't know why, it just did. So this is going to the lovely Dede. So before I get into the basket, it's the lovely Dede's birthday coming up soon, the end of April. She's not allowed to watch this video. And I've made her a beautiful, it's absolutely stunning birthday card. There is a little bit of surprise in there, because if she does accidentally watch this video, Ms Dede, she won't see the surprise. So I laid my papers up as I usually do. This die actually came from the Tattered Lace magazine a couple of months back, and I thought it was so pretty. And then I did arrangement of flowers, and then I went over it on my gesso. I'm starting to use my gesso a hell of a lot more recently, I don't know why. So that was my birthday card for Ms Dede. Then for my actual swap, I did a little postcard in Beatrix Potter. Now, Beatrix Potter, Peter Rabbit, that kind of thing. Now, my basket is sort of themed around that. I don't know why I went for that theme. I think it's because I had the fabric, and what a way to use it up, basically. It really sparked Easter for me, Peter Rabbit and Easter Bunny, because they, Peter Rabbit and his friends are more in the shops this time of year than any other time. So what I've done is I've printed these on fabric, and I did some, I didn't do too much. I did some thread painting on there, and then I used the seam binding that I purchased off eBay a couple of weeks ago around it. And then on the back, I did like a Peter Rabbit postcard, and the address, I was like, oh, what should I put for the address? Because I didn't want to, indeed he knows my address, but I didn't want to put my address. I wanted to put something quite funny, so I put number 5, always friends forever. So when she reads it, she'll have, ah! And there's a little message on the back. So that was my little postcard. This is my basket. It is loaded, because that's the idea of it, that it had to be loaded. And this chick, this chick is making its way in the basket somehow as well, if I've got any room. So I'm going to talk to you about the basket. So the basket, I was debating on whether to do a basket I've actually recently made, but Dede's seen me make it. So I went looking for this basket, and I found the pattern on YouTube. I can't think of the channels completely. I can't think. So, but what I will do, because I did show this to one person in the group, two people. Angie, showed Angie it, and I did show somebody else, which is the lovely Sarah. And Sarah said, oh my word, that basket's gorgeous. Both ladies said it was beautiful. Because I needed some inspiration. I needed to get some opinions about what I was making, whether I was making the right thing, whether it looked Easter. And they both said I needed to do a video on how I created this. So this is actually dimensional. Let me raise you up. This is actually dimensional. What I mean by that is it's not flat at all. So there's the side all the way around. I'll show you the top in a second. And that's the back. And I've done the lines that you can see in the fabric, it's actually me on the machine. I've actually done what they call quilting technique. And I did it in like a diamond shape. So I sort of went across all the way down to the bottom, and then I started from the other corner, went up to give me like a diamond effect. Can you see the diamonds in there? So that's my basket, and the beautiful mama gave me the fabric. She had recently bought it for something and she'd made it, and she said, Claire, I've got all this fabric spare, do you want to use it? And at the time I was, like I say, struggling because I didn't want to make something that Dee Dee'd already seen me make. And I went, oh, that's really Easter. Oh, yes, please. Didn't shake my head at that one. So, the top. Now, I've got to be careful what you can see. Right, the top. The top is made. It's one piece, but I wanted to do something a bit different on the basket. The basket looked a bit plain to me. So what I've done is I've created 5 buttons, and they're basically 5 different loops. And what they're loops for is on the side, if I cut this out, there's like a little pocket that I've actually hand sewn that on, because I'd done all the basket and I thought, oh, I need like a little something to hold what I've made. So these are 5 different loops, because I thought Dee Dee would like, I know Dee Dee does a lot of sewing, and I thought she would like something by the side of her chair. So what I've done is I had some ribbon in centimeters, this is in, but it's 1 to 30 centimeters, and on the back I done some fabric and I folded it over like a bit like seam binding. Now there are 2 words, but I think you'll be at least surprised. There are 2 words hidden on there. One, you can sort of see the F, and I don't know whether you can see the P, it's just there. That one says friendship. I should have done it in darker colour, but I just left it. And then this one says L-O-V-E, love. So you can just about see that one. So those are my 2 words, and my, what do you call it, my ribbon, my ruler ribbon. And then on the end, again, using this fabric, I just cut out Peter Rabbit himself. And I made him into a pin cushion where she can put, say she's sewing, her pins in. Now, because I'm sending this abroad, I'm umming and ahhing, there's a reason. Because I'm sending this abroad, I've got to think about what I can actually send. Now, the original idea that I had was to attach a scissors at the end, but because I'm sending it abroad, I didn't want it to be stopped at customs. So this will, Dee Dee, you're welcome to add a pair of scissors. It's easy enough to add a pair of scissors. Just get your scissors, any size scissors. I would suggest small. Get a piece of ribbon or whatever you want. Loop it through the loop, and then either tie it or sew it, and you've got your scissors on the end of your ruler. But I can't send that in the post. I can't send scissors in the post. I didn't want to stop, and I suppose, I don't know whether I can send it if it's still in the packaging, but not loosely. I don't know. I don't know. I need to do my research on it. So this is what I've done as a ruler. Now, some of the items in the basket, they are not, some of them are Easter, some of them aren't. But most of the things I have made are all in Peter Rabbit Beatrix Potter, because I know how much Dede loves it. The other thing is, I've also mixed a little bit of my culture in there, which I will explain in due course. So this is on the side, and there's the 5 buttons. On the front, I'm not going to take it off because it spends me ages. I had this beautiful vintage handkerchief laying in my stash. I'll use it, and I haven't got round to using it, and it just fitted in perfectly, dangling down. So that was that. I've added one of these blue doilies, and I've added this. I didn't actually make, hands up, I did make this. This was in a kit that Marlou had made, who's Gracie's Place, and I absolutely loved it that much. Because it's Peter Rabbit, it had to go in. And then I've attached it on a bulb clip with some vintage buttons and a bell, so when she shakes a basket, sorry for the shaking, she'll hear the bell. So that's basically what's on the basket. Now I'm going to take you in through the basket. So like I say, this chocolate chick will find its way in somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I don't know. All I do know is I'm not supposed to send food abroad. But I'm hoping I can get away with this. I'm hoping so. Cross fingers. I'm hoping it'll get there in one piece. If not, and it comes back to me, then it comes back to me. You know, if that's the case, lesson learned, I won't put chocolate in it again. But this is going to be my second chick. I was debating on whether to make a second chick, and I just thought, I really want to get this in the post. I should be with her. The idea is these baskets are with the Swap Ladies by the 19th of April, because that weekend is Easter. So I wanted the basket to be with her for Easter. So I didn't want to sort of dawdle, and I was racking my brains last night as to what other chick I could make. And the lovely Miss Pacey was giving me ideas, and nothing was coming to me. And then when I went into one of the shops today, she sprung out, and I thought, haha, perfect. Exactly like that. So there's that. Now the other little chick I have made, this is actually made knitted. So there's a bit of a story to this. As you all know, I often speak about my nan, because she meant a great deal, and she still does, and she's with everything I do. She's in my crafting, my videos. She's in everything I do, which is really nice, because I'm keeping everything she taught me as a child really close to home. So this little knitted chick is knitted. I've been playing around with Nan's old knitted needles, and it's basically, you knit, I knitted like a rectangle. I can't tell you how many rows because I was just playing around. Knitted about yay much, and then I folded it, and then I wrapped the head round, stuffed the head full of wadding, and then the top is made of like an upside down pom-pom. So that's the top. So if I remember how to do the pattern, I will come back and show you. So there's one of them, and I have put a little bit of a surprise. Now I didn't know this because I originally was going to put a Kinder Surprise in, and Chris said you can't. I said, what do you mean you can't? And you guys over in America, you might not know what I don't know whether you will. I don't know. All I know is Chris said you can't. I said, what do you mean I can't? He said Kinder Surprise is a banned in America because of the toys inside the chocolate. So a Kinder Surprise is about the same size as a cream egg. This is a cream egg. Dede, you will love this. And it was really hard to put it in, not to eat it. So a Kinder Surprise is roughly about the same size as this, and it's covered in chocolate, and then inside the chocolate is a toy, and you put the toy together. But I cannot understand why it's banned. I know it's banned because of the toy, but the toy's nothing. Do you know what I'm trying? I'm saying it's nothing, but I don't know. I just don't understand why it's banned. I know it's banned because of the toy, but I don't know what's so harmful that can cause it being banned. Does that make sense? So anyway, changed the plan and I put a cream egg inside because the back do open. So I have this, and since it was Easter, I did put a little bit of chocolate in as well. So this is why there was chocolate in. So the other item I made was a lavender pillow. I actually finished this last night. I won't delve into the reason why I've made this, only that it's a personal thing that Dede mentioned it to me, and I just thought with everything she's been through just lately, this would be perfect for her. It's got fresh lavender in because I sort of ordered like 100 stems by accident. They're coming in really handy, believe it or not. And I did some thread painting on this. So all the threads that you can see on top, that is me with a machine. And I did the stems and I did all the lavender, and it's all in like two-tone lavender. It's in two-tone cotton. And the reason it's in two-tone is because I wanted the lavender to pop. So I went over it once and then went over it twice in the lighter colour. I've put Ms Dede's name. Now that isn't straight. It does look as if a child wrote it. But that's my hand sewing when it was all put together, and I thought, oh, you don't put Dede's name on it. So that was that. And then I put a little ribbon on it. So I put a little lavender pillow in for you, Ms Dede, to help you sleep, and if not, to comfort you. So this, some, like I say, some of this is Easter, some of this is culture. So this, I've put some of the fabric that I've used. I've cut out Mr. Peter Rabbit himself. I put a lovely little postcard that I've been hoarding and hoarding and hoarding, and I just thought that just fitted with spring, and that fitted with Easter. And it's I think I had that from a kit. Might have been Marlou. I want to say Marlou, but it might have been someone else I had it from. And there's a doily behind it, and then inside I created these. Now I must come back and show you how I've created these, because I don't think I showed Sarah or Angie these. I think I showed Rian, because me and Rian meet up, as you know, once a week, and this was laying on my desk, and Rian said, how gorgeous is that? It's so beautiful to touch. And I've done all the stitching. She said, you've got to do a video on how you've created this. And I was like, really? It's just like a simple little thing. She said, no, it's not simple. She said, I wouldn't know where to start. So Miss Rian, I will come back and do a video. I've printed some words out. I've made my own words. I've printed them out, then ink them, tear them and whatnot. So there's peaceful on the side. When I open it up, I've done 2 pockets. So this pocket has got a little dangly, it's on a paper clip, and it does have some sparkle gems, and it's all you know, this is all seam binding that I've just wrapped around with cotton and put on one of those crab clips in jewellery making, and spin the paper clip round. So if I push this up, which, watch now, I'm not going to be able to do, you'll see this is the ribbon that I made out of the scraps to create the ribbon around the basket. So all the way around is this ribbon. This is what I had left over, and I just thought, why not send it to Ms Dede, because Dede was saying, I do try and get information out of people, and then they wonder why I've sent them the right thing. Dede was saying about how she can't get hold of Peter Rabbit fabric over there. She can't get hold of Beatrix Potter. She can get hold of the books, but she can't get hold of the fabric or anything to do with Peter Rabbit. So I was like, well, let's make you some ribbon. So that's what I've done. So I did it on a shaped, an egg shaped, because it was Easter. I did it the same way as I've done the book, really, tried to, but I think I used too much gesso, which is why the back is a little bit blurred than the front. But I got told in the week that all adds to the effect, apparently. And yeah, so this is what was like, and I had to do the basket. I had to do a good few yards of this ribbon, because you had to go sort of four sides, yeah, sort of round twice then. So that's that in there. On this side I created 2 envelopes. Now originally I was going to put stuff in, and I thought, no, I won't put anything in, because Dede makes journals. She loves to make journals. So my idea was to use the Easter theme, use the spring theme, and make her things that she can put inside her journal. So like this, if she took the spool out or kept it in, whatever she wanted to do, she could easily put that into a book, and that would act as pages, easy enough, you know, and she could add to it and write to it and whatever she wanted to do. So this is the first envelope, and it's made out of paper and napkin and I didn't use Mod Podge. I've got like a sealant, and then I've got a top coat. Again, I'll have to come back and show you guys how I've created it, because the pattern is actually following through on the bottom as well, and it's plain on the front. And then this one is made up of a book page, some ephemera, more ephemera, that's from Lorna's Easter stash, Lorna's shop, which is tailor-made. Is it tailor-made for you? Let me have a check. She's on Etsy. I will leave Lorna's shop link in the description bar below for you to see her shop, because absolutely immense. Now, yes, tailor-made journals, not tailor-made for you. And yeah, that's what was out of her Easter stash, because again, I was going down our culture route. So sticking with a daffodil theme, keep that in mind, because I'm going to show you something else with daffodils on. So I didn't have much bags because of my destashing. I sort of forgot I had to stash up on my plastic bags. So to be honest with you guys, I have been recycling. So anything that's been coming in a plastic bag, anything, I have been keeping hold of, because I haven't been able to get out to go and get some. I was like, oh, I've got to go out and I've got to go and get some soon, because there's absolutely none there. Right, so there's that. I'm going to move this basket to one side so you can sort of see where I am. Oops. I'm going. Okay, right, so the next thing I have is this. And I've also put some, I think the lavender's come apart, Ms Dede, because I did put some lavender in, but I think it's because it's that frail, it's at the bottom of the basket. So you sort of have to dig around for it. I'm sorry. So I put some postcards with all the things I've wrapped up. I've put like a postcard or ephemera or something that she can clearly see, because that would remind me of spring, definitely. In fact, I was seeing like really, they must have been a couple of weeks old. There's a nest in our neighbour's garden, and I saw the chicks and I could hear them, and it was so lovely. So yes, that definitely reminded me of spring, nature's beauty. And if you watched my vlog the other day, you would have heard the birds singing on that country park. So this has got Easter eggs on it. Some Easter ribbon. I thought that was really, really cute. And then I'm going to push this out, and this is my surprise bag. So for the surprise bag, now this isn't 6x6, this is 5x 6x4, so I went smaller. I think if I had gone 6x6, it wouldn't have fitted in my little basket, to be fair, my little basket. Right, okay. So, I've done some thread painting again on the lavender. And I've done, where is the other one? This one. I didn't cover in the black, and I didn't go over the lavender in the light colour. And that's why they're different. So they're the same image, except I've just used different cotton, and the black is filled in as well. The thread is the same. I've done that in two-tone. And then at the bottom, I always call her Ms Dede, just because she is Ms Dede to me. And I put her name in black at the bottom. So let's see what's inside. Okay. So there's a little button enclosure, and this is what it looks like on the back. So inside we have some vintage buttons. There's some vintage buttons in there. There's some lace on, because there's two things I want to protect, and with it being rolled up, it will protect the little two things I have made and created. So I will show you what I've created. Oh, there's some more buttons. There's Shaun the Sheep button. I've used that on the basket and I had to put it in. Oh, there's some more vintage buttons. There's another Shaun Sheep. There's a butterfly. There's another Shaun Sheep. They're all different patterns. It's super cute. Right, okay. Let me see what else. Oh, I have a butterfly. Oh, that's the same butterfly that's on the basket. I have another Shaun Sheep, Mr. and Mrs. Right, okay. And I have, my basket is now empty. Right, so in my basket with a couple of things. So the first thing I've created is a daffodil. Like I said, keep daffodils in your mind, because you're going to see them, more of them now in a second. So I created this. I crocheted a flower and then went inside the ring to create a daffodil. Now what I originally thought was to put her on a stem, but like I say, ran out of time, and I thought that would be nice anyway for Dede to see what she wanted to do with it. So I've created a daffodil. I have put in, I've got to open her up, this up. This is, bearing in mind, keep daffodils in your mind all the time. Now we're sort of trying to get to the Welsh culture a bit. So as most of you will know, I'm from UK, but I actually live in a place called I live in a place called Wales. And the UK is divided up. We're actually divided up 4 islands, really. Not islands, parts. So you've got, so this is the UK. You've got Ireland here. You've got Scotland at the top of the island then. Let's call it an island, just to, I know it's not an island, but let's just call it that. You've got Scotland at the top, England in the middle, and we've got Wales on the left-hand side of United Kingdom. And I live in South Wales, which means I live at the bottom of Wales. And Dede keeps saying how she loves to look about where I'm from, what's around me, how we celebrate Easter, and what we do different to you guys overseas. So I've put in a magnet. Now this is a Welsh magnet, and there's the daffodil. So every spring coming up to Easter, you'll see daffodils growing on the side of the road. You'll see them growing sometimes in people's gardens. You can buy them in shops to pick up and put in vases. You will see them anywhere you look. I've got Wales at the bottom, and then in the centre is a Welsh lady in a Welsh uniform. So she's wearing a Welsh Celtic dress. She's got like a white pinion and a black hat, and that is actually our Welsh uniform. When I was a little girl, I used to go to a Welsh school. So diolch would be thank you. And I used to have to speak Welsh all the time. Sut wyt ti? Beth sy'n bod? Beth sy'n bod means what is the matter? Sut wyt ti is how are you? Beth sy'n enw means what is your name? So I have to speak Welsh all the time when I was little. And when I was little, I would have to dress up in this when it came to, oh, they call it something. Oh, that's really bad. What do they call it? Oh, gee, it's going to come off. It's going to come now. I can't believe I can't think what it's called. Oh. It'll come to me, and when it does, I will say it. And you guys can't help me with that one. Not unless you live in Wales. I can't think what it's called. It begins with G. And we have it once a year in the schools. And when you're in a Welsh school, you have to dress up in uniform. You get to dance around a maypole. There's lots of different things that we as Welsh people celebrate. As a culture, we celebrate Easter with. So this lady has got a lovely harp. And some of you may know the singer Tom Jones. And there's lots of other singers but out there, but Tom Jones is actually from South Wales. And so the culture of the harpist is we as Welsh people supposedly, I haven't got a good voice, but supposedly it's supposed to have a good voice and can sing. I can honestly say, hand on heart, that isn't true for me, but many Welsh singers have come from Wales and have gone on to be successful. So that is why she's got the harp. So with that in mind, keep that sort of culture in the back of your mind. I'm going to show you something for fun now. So this has got nothing to do with that Welsh culture, but it's just completely, I was trying to find something to put in my surprise bag. So I have made two little crocheted baskets that I made the baskets first, funny enough, and then I came across these in the shop and I thought, oh, I hope to gosh they fit in my basket. And my basket's made up of a couple of rows. I crocheted the handle, and then if I push this basket all the way up to its waist and then put that over the top, we have two little baskets. It's a little bit bashed. It is a little bit bashed, Ms Dede, but I hope you forgive me. It's Mr. and Mrs. So, yes. There's another little check. Oh, look, I didn't even think. I do have another little check in here. Well, we've got two of them. So, keep that harp in your mind, because I'm going to show you something else from the Welsh culture. So I'm trying to think where I have put it. So I've got something else from the Welsh culture too. So this, I'm not going to open it up because you can see both sides. So these are postcards. Now I have two in this pack. One side is something called cawl, and it's stew, and what we put in, there's the recipe what to put in, so Dede can sort of see what we would put in our stew. And every now and then I make cawl up, and me and Chris have it, except for this recipe, the proper Welsh stew up, they make it with the neck of the lamb, but sometimes we put a tin of corned beef in 5 minutes before it's piping hot, and then we have a nice crusty roll to go with it. Oh, you're making me angry. Anyway, there's the recipe and how to cook it. And I just thought, because Dede's always asking me about what is around me, what we are famous for in Wales, that kind of thing. And I just thought, this spoke definitely Easter to me, because as Easter, again, you can see those daffodils in the background. These are all the veg that you would put in, and you would serve it in, you could cook it in a slow cook, Me and Chris tend to cook in the slow cook, and Chris is from England. He's not originally from Wales, so when I first started cooking this, he went, "What the heck is cow?" And I sort of had to explain to him what it was, and he still didn't get it until he tasted it, and he soon changed his mind. So there's that postcard in. There's two flowers. There's a scrappy flower, and then I've sewn some lace. I did put a centre in because I didn't know whether Dede would like to do that. But I've made a little flower there. I've put some of the Beatrix Potter fabric behind it as well, so she can see what the two postcards are. So behind us is Porthcawl. So our university, that's a bit of a false statement. We have got 3 places where we can go, roughly off the top of my head, where we can go and see the sea, and Porthcawl is one of them. And down there is the sea, the fair. In the summer it will look like that with all the people on there. We will have the windmills. There's the fair in the background, and then if I move these flowers over, that is exactly where me and Krista sit. So Ms Dede, if you are watching this, that is opposite, so the sea's here, and that is exactly where me and Krista sit to have a cup of coffee when we are walking the dogs. Next time we go down there, I will vlog it. And when we go round the corner, I wish I could move these flowers down. There. When we go round the corner, because it sort of comes up and goes around right round the bend. When we go round the corner is where we had our wedding reception. So Porthcawl is very meaningful to both me and Chris. It's an absolute amazing place to go, and we often sit in the car and have fish and chips, and it's amazing because in the winter it's too cold to sort of go walking along the coast. And I've only ever done it once. We stayed down Porthcawl when our flat was being renovated and refurbished and whatnot. And this one night, it was, you could hear the waves bashing against the bollards. And I thought, no, I've got to go and have a look, because even though we live close, I wouldn't get out of my car really and go and have a look. So I went out in the hotel. I didn't stay for very long, 2 minutes, I was back in. But to see the waves, it was an immense, absolutely immense night. And Chris thought I was off my head because all I wanted to do was see the waves. But yes, so I put the 2 postcards in. Because yeah, that's where you usually go and take the dogs. And that's Easter definitely to us. So again, 2 flowers. I recycled this. I don't want to undo it because therefore I'm not going to be able to do it back up. There's the fabric at the bottom. It is folded in half, so Ms Dede can have a go and make whatever she wants to make. So the other thing I have is this. Now this I can take apart. So keep the daffodils and all that in mind, because there's something else coming up in a minute where you will see what exactly I've done. Okay, so this basket, if I can get into it, this basket I've put some blue lace on the top because I thought Peter Rabbit is in blue and it just seemed to match it. So inside we have 2 things. We have the fabric. It is, put the staple. Dede, Ms Dede, if you are watching, take the staples out and you'll be able to, and take the fabric. Basically I've put 2 pieces of fabric in. The one fabric has got the images on, where I've got the image on one of the packaging, and I've cut out Peter Rabbit, so there's the images. And then the other piece is old writing from the book, so it's got it'll say Cottontail, Mopsy, came down the lane to gather blackberries, and it actually reads the story. So I thought that'd be nice. So Ms Dede's got some fabric there, but Dede will work that out to take the paper clips off. So this one has got some yellow seam binding for spring, and when I open it up, this one says imagination. Now it's made this very similar way to the other one. I've done some stitching at the top, stitching down the bottom. This is mixed with paper and napkin. If I fold it out that way, you'll see them both, and I've got imagination on the front. So these are just falling out, but these were originally here. That's where they were. So let me show you. I'm going to move her over a second. Let me show you these. Now these are like little postcards. Again, I was thinking of Dede's journal. So the images have come from Lorna Tailor-Made Journals on Etsy, and this has come from the Easter downloadable Easter pack, because they had the pictures of the daffodils in, and then it's just blank on the back because I thought Ms Dede could use them in a journal if she wanted to. If that it is. There's that one, and then there's this one, all daffodils, and that one's blank on the back. That's what that one looks on the back, and then and there's Stamperia papers on the back from, can't think what collection that book that is from, but it's one of the Stamperia books, and they just tuck in at the side. And I've been told I've got to do a video. I've been told I've got to do a video on how I created this. This is my little tuck spot. So on this side, I've done two things. So the back is got, again, this was from the Easter collection, and I've just torn it to give it that old look, and then I've inked all the way around the edges. And this is the back. The back is mixed up from a page out of one of the plant books I have, some napkin, some stamping. It's all mixed up, so she can write on top of that. It's quite safe to do it. And that is April, and it gives you like the calendar day, and it says home sweet home, there is no place like home. So definitely is no place like home. And that pops in the back there. Then on the front there's this. And this is so cute. I cannot believe I made this up. So there's the back, then a bit of lace on the top. There's the front, and I've got list the daffodils again because I go out with the daffodil theme. And it's an actual tiny minute little book. I've actually stitched the papers in because there's not that many of them, and I just thought, how cute is that to write on? All these like little pages. And this isn't big at all. This is just over 2 inches by just over 1.5. It's not that big at all. And then the back slides in this little compartment. So it slides in like that, and then the seam binding goes on. So yeah, I've had lots of fun creating this. I haven't quite finished yet. I think there's one more things to come to show you guys. I'll leave that out. I can pack it all up later. And then there is, like I say, there is lavender in the bottom of the pack, but hopefully Ms Dede can swim in that out. Hopefully. I've put a bit of green, what they call, what do they call? It's not organza. No, it's not. I can't think what it's called. I put some green in because I went with an Easter theme and daffodils and all that. So I thought for green, to break the yellow colours, and because there is a lot of yellow going on inside the basket, and that alongside it breaks it up beautifully. So this is the last thing that I wanted to share with you. So first of all, I'm going to share with you this. So this is another postcard, only this time it's learning Welsh. So you've got all the days of the week, and you've got all the days of the week in Welsh. So we are on Tuesday, so it's Dydd Mawrth, and bed is Gwenly. I have to, it is really, I am following a Welsh programme on TV, and Chris is looking at me stupid at the minute because they are speaking a lot of all this language. And he's like, how the heck do you understand it? So I do understand it, and I do speak it, but I've got to keep speaking it and keep understanding it in order for it to become fresh. So this is the outfit, is exactly the outfit that I used to wear as a kid. And I still love it. It should be like once a year you dress up in this little outfit. So there's all the different words for different things. And then Taro the Drws means close the door. So Drws is up the door for door. You've got grandmother, grandfather, light, milk. Mother would be mum. That's what we say in Welsh. Tatws is potatoes. And what other one was I going to share with you quickly? Paper is papier. Just like that. Mamgi is grandmother. Dadgi is grandfather. So yeah, different Welsh words for different things. And then there's a postcard on the back, and it says Celtic camera. So our dragon for Wales, our symbol for Wales is a dragon, because we have that on our Welsh flag. So yes, I put that postcard. So another bulb clip here, and I'll unclip it just to show you something. Now this I didn't make again. This was in my little stash, but because it was Peter Rabbit Beatrix Potter, I needed to put it in. It was just a thing. So this was made by the lovely Marlo, and it was in one of my Beatrix Potter kits, I believe they bought off her. So if I unwrap this, this is, oh, first of all, I've cut, this is probably about 2-3 inches wide of that fabric that I've made the basket with, because what I figured was that Dede could iron this flat. She could fold it in, and she could have her own trim. She could fold it in half and have her own trim again. It just, you know, the possibilities are endless. So there is a good, I'd say good meter of it. Gotta be right. I'm gonna put this clip in one piece, because knowing me, I'll end up stabbing myself. So yeah, so that's that. So this, before I show you, having the daffodils, our culture in your background, this tea cloth explains everything. So I'm going to unwrap it. I'm going to show you what's inside in a second. That has nothing to do with Easter. There's a reason why I have got it. So this is the tea cloth. So the first thing that you will see is this is the Welsh spoon. So the Welsh spoon was given it back in the day, instead of rings, instead of wedding rings, they would give a Welsh spoon. And usually me and Chris have got 2 for our wedding. Usually you would have your name printed or the date printed on the spoon. So it's all entwined, and it's made of wood. And it was given back in the day instead of rings. That's what they used to do instead of rings. This is our Celtic cross, and as you can notice, all the Celtic rings and trings and all that is running through this tea cloth. So this Celtic cross is exactly what it looks like. This is what I have got, a necklace with a Celtic cross on, just looking exactly like that. And on each of the sides, it'll say what it's for. So that will say the Celtic cross. That will say the Welsh spoon, but it's sometimes called the love spoon. No, the love spoon, the Welsh spoon? Yeah, Welsh spoon. Love spoon. What am I on about love spoon? It's because I'm thinking of rings. So, our dragon, because this is what's printed on our Welsh flag, and it says the Welsh dragon on the side. And last but no means least, our daffodils, the Welsh daffodils that you see throughout this entire basket. So I thought, with this basket you were only supposed to get 2 or 3 handmade things. Now most of these little things I already had in my stash. This and the next thing I'm going to show you I did actually buy, because I wanted our culture, because I was sending it overseas. I wanted Dede to get a sense of what we do for Easter. So that is sort of the culture bit over. Now what I'm going to show you next, when I was doing the themes last month and I said to everybody, tell me what themes you want to put up in the group, tell me what themes, and everybody's shouting all these themes out. And one of the themes that came up was Downton Abbey. And Dede said, oh, you know, if that gets picked, me and, because Janet is in the group, and I believe there's a few others in the US. She said, me, Janet, and the other ladies that are in the US are not going to be able to join in if we're not going to be able to pick Downton Abbey as a theme. And I said, why not? She said, because Downton Abbey was made in Britain, and this is what Dede told me, and they over in the US, I believe you can't get hold of anything Downton Abbey, I believe. At least Dede and Janet can't. So with that in mind, and that sort of stayed in my mind throughout this project, I went online and I didn't pay a lot for it, but it was something I know that Dede's gonna like go ecstatic for. I bought the triple disc CD-ROM, and I did ask her, I said, oh, have you got a computer? And she went, yeah, Clad, yeah, I have had my computer. And she sort of went into it, and I'm thinking, if only you knew why I was asking. So I have bought this, and what it is, it's a 3D CD-ROM. I have one myself. It's an absolute epic CD-ROM. So the 3 CDs are in there. So you've got one, the upstairs collection, so all the papers, the ephemera, anything you need for the upstairs collection. You've got CD2, which is all the below stairs, so the papers will be darker because it's all the maids and all that. Still, ephemera, papers, anything you want to make a card or anything with will be the downstairs collection. And then step 3 is actually absolutely brilliant projects in there that you can make, and I can't remember how many projects is in there exactly, but that is the triple CD. So what I thought was, if the Downton Abbey theme does come up now on the group, and it does get picked for next month, Ms Dede and Miss Janet, because I know Janet sees Dede quite often, they'll be able to do this theme because they have something now. They can link up to the printer and they can print to their heart's content. So that is my basket. It's completely empty. My table is now full. I hope you've all really enjoyed my wonderful project I've made. If I do say myself, I say it's wonderful because of that basket. And I will have to come on, I don't know about any of these minds. I will have to come on and do a video on how I've created the basket and find the video that I sort of got inspired to make it from. But yeah, let me know what you think of all the little things and whether you like the idea of me showing you guys the culture of it. And because at the end of the day, like I say, it was Easter, it's special, and every now and then I do a special swap in the group. You are very welcome to come over to the group. If you don't want to swap, that's fine. There's different things going on. There's paper challenge, picture challenges going on. There's side swaps, so not big huge swaps like this. You can just take part in like little things that goes on. There's something for everyone, or you can just sit and watch and see what's going on in the group and comment if you want to, or you don't have to do that. It's totally up to you. But I really do hope you've really thoroughly enjoyed not learning, but learning's the wrong word, watching me show you what we do, and a part of our culture, how we celebrate Easter. I really do hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to find out if you do something different, what you do for Easter, what is there any specific meal that you have for Easter? Do you have a specific routine? I'd love to know. Please comment below. And thank you all for watching. Sorry this video has been really long, and I will catch up with you all in my next video. Take care. Have a lovely rest of the week wherever you are, and I will catch up with you then. Bye for now, ladies. Bye.